Admiral Krextar stood on the bridge of the Dominion's Pride, his four eyes gleaming with amusement as he reviewed the intelligence reports from the third planet of the Sol system. The holographic displays showed crude metal projectiles, chemical, explosives, and what the humans quaintly called nuclear weapons. Primitive kinetic weaponry, he chittered to his tactical officer. They still use gunpowder and fission bombs. How charmingly backward. The Zephyrian Empire had conquered 47 star systems in the past century, each capitulation coming swiftly once their prey witnessed the Empire's plasma cannons and quantum disruptors. Earth would be no different, just another blue marble to add to their collection. "Sir," the communications officer announced, "we're receiving a transmission from the human homeworld. Put it through. Let's hear their inevitable surrender." The main screen flickered to life, revealing a middle-aged human woman in a simple blue suit. Behind her, Krextar could see what appeared to be a primitive meeting chamber with flags and wooden furniture. "I am Secretary General Sarah Chen of the United Earth Coalition," the human said calmly. "We've received your ultimatum. Before we respond, we'd like to extend an invitation." Krextar's mandibles clicked in surprise. "An invitation? Our military historians would be fascinated to examine your weapon systems. In return, we'd like to demonstrate some of our own developments. Perhaps we could arrange a cultural exchange." The bridge erupted in chittering laughter. Even Krextar found himself amused by the audacity. "You wish to show us your chemical rockets and metal bullets? How delightfully naive. Very well, human. We accept your invitation. Prepare to be educated in the art of civilized warfare." 3 days later, a small human vessel approached the fleet. It was laughably primitive, clearly propelled by chemical thrust, constructed of simple alloys. The delegation that boarded consisted of 5 humans in matching gray uniforms, led by a tall man with graying hair who introduced himself as General Marcus Webb. "Welcome aboard the Dominion's Pride," Krextar said, gesturing with 2 of his 4 arms. "I trust you'll find our technology illuminating." Webb nodded politely. "I'm sure we will. We've brought some items for your inspection as well." The human opened a simple metal case, revealing what appeared to be a collection of antique weapons, a projectile firearm, several metallic cylinders, and oddly enough, what looked like a children's toy. "This," Webb said, lifting the toy, "is actually our latest innovation. We call it quantum entangled ammunition." Krextar leaned closer, his scientific curiosity overriding his amusement. "Quantum entanglement in weapons? Impossible. Your species lacks the theoretical framework for such applications." "We had excellent teachers," Webb replied cryptically. "Your previous diplomatic missions to other systems provided us with considerable technical data." The Admiral's amusement faded slightly. "Explain." Webb activated the device. It hummed softly, projecting a faint blue glow. "You see, Admiral, while you were conquering systems with your superior technology, we were studying the wreckage you left behind. Every destroyed ship, every abandoned outpost, every piece of debris from your conquests, it all told us a story." Krextar's tactical officer stepped forward, scanner in hand. His face paled to a sickly green. "Sir, I'm reading massive quantum fluctuations. The signatures they're matched to our fleet's quantum cores. The problem with quantum entanglement," Webb continued conversationally, "is that distance becomes irrelevant. Every particle has its paired opposite, and when you affect one," he pressed a button on the device. Throughout the bridge, warning klaxons began blaring. The tactical display showed impossible readings. Their quantum cores were destabilizing simultaneously across the entire fleet. "You see, we've been quite busy these past few decades," Webb explained as chaos erupted around them. "While you dismissed our primitive weapons, we were developing something rather more sophisticated. Every quantum core in your fleet has been quantum entangled with its paired particles. Particles we've been cultivating in deep space laboratories built from the wreckage of your previous conquests." Krextar grabbed the human by his uniform. "What have you done?" Webb smiled coldly. "We've learned from the best teachers. You. Every species you've conquered, every world you've destroyed, they all had families, cultures, dreams. We've been collecting their stories, their knowledge, their desire for justice, and now we're delivering it. The ship shuddered as the quantum core reached critical instability. Through the viewports, Krextar could see other vessels in his fleet beginning to list, their engines flickering. "This is impossible," he whispered. "Your species was classified as pre-warp, barely capable of chemical propulsion." "Classifications can be deceiving," Webb replied. "You made the same mistake every empire makes. You assumed that technology defines capability. But you forgot something crucial about humans." "What's that?" Webb's expression hardened. "We're very good at learning from our enemies, and even better at remembering our friends." As if summoned by his words, the view screen lit up with new contacts, ships emerging from hyperspace around Earth. But these weren't human vessels. They were Altarian cruisers, Centauri battleships, Vegan destroyers, representatives of every species the Zephyrian Empire had conquered, now flying in formation with Earth's modest fleet. "While you were mocking our primitive weapons," Webby said as the quantum cores throughout the fleet reached cascade failure, "we were building something far more powerful than any plasma cannon or disruptor beam. We built alliances. We built trust. We built hope." The last thing Admiral Krextar saw before the emergency transporters activated was Webb's satisfied smile as the Dominion's pride joined the rest of the Zephyrian fleet in spectacular, simultaneous destruction. Not from any external attack, but from the collapse of their own quantum cores, triggered by the primitive humans they had so thoroughly underestimated. In the aftermath, as rescue pods were collected and prisoners processed, General Webb stood on the bridge of the UES Terran Dawn, watching the debris field that had once been an invasion fleet. His aide approached. "Sir, the quantum entanglement devices worked perfectly. Complete fleet neutralization with 0 human casualties." Webb nodded, still watching the stars. "Send a message to the Zephyrian homeworld. Tell them Earth extends an invitation, not for conquest but for conversation. It's time they learned what real civilization looks like." The age of human diplomacy was about to begin.